Yo, what's up? This is Eric Sermon.
Yo, this is Paris Smith from Mike Doctor EPMD, and you are now watching the 25-year anniversary of Business as Usual.
America's best, come wild on Long Island. It's where we wreck, yo. The style of the wreck makes your hands crack. Take care of a seven because the vibes are shot. Hey yo, play me, but there's no time for play. If you ride line, you pull your weight. Don't the more you fight, you gotta.
What up, y'all? This is DJ Diamond, the artist, formerly known as Diamond J, as in Diamond J will spin it. You already know what it is, man. Talking about Eric, talking about Parrish. Two, I guess, arguably one of the biggest hip-hop duos ever, to exist. I mean, you think of Run DMC, and then you think of EPMD, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what it is. I'm the kid that went in the studio with them and did the demo that helped get them the deal on Sleeping Bag Records. So, I go back with them to, the high school days, really. And it's great to see the evolution of how everything came around. Because me and Eric was always friends. And I used to DJ like all the parties in the hood, in Brentwood. And Eric used to come to my parties and get on the mic and rap. And he was hot. And he used to battle dudes, eat them up. And it was cool because we had this chemistry together. So when it came time to actually, go in and make a record, because Parrish, his older brother, had already made records, so Parrish knew a little bit about, the whole process and what needed to be done. So basically, we went to my basement first. That's where we rehearsed everything. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that they knew they wanted to rap over. I would cut up the beats and everything. And then we took it to Charlie Murata's studio. And then, we made it happen. We made it into songs. And then after that, the rest is history.
Alright, so here we are with EPMD, the world famous group, doing the 25th anniversary of Business as Usual. Just want to talk to y'all about just the beginning, where it came from, the concept, how y'all began the album, the thought behind it, and just want to hear y'all's story behind the album, Business as Usual.
Well, the thought process behind Business as Usual was kind of like the vibe of the world at the time. There was the war going on. So, after proving ourselves for the first 2 albums with Strictly Business and Unfinished Business, we felt like we could cut loose and just do more raw material. So I'm Mad was the first song of just expression, up-tempo, upbeat, setting the tone for the album.
As far as the album cover, that thing was monumental till even today as we look at it. Like, can you just explain to us, like, how did that begin, where that come from?
Well, that came from the frustration. The first album, you just want to be part of the culture, hip-hop, so you're sitting there in the studio on the album cover. The second album cover, Unfinished Business, now you're chilling, you're out there, Run DMC, Cool J, the rest of the guys that you respect in the industry, now you got your cars. But then, before there was the word haters, that's where we came up with So What You're Saying, and we didn't even want to be on the cover. We just wanted to find a real dope artist who can basically put a portrait of the way we felt on the inside. So that's why we were standing in the swamp with the guns pointing at us, with the dogs and the helicopters above.
Does it put you in awe that the fact that you have this cover in today's world, it literally exemplifies what we still are going through? The cops aiming at you guys, and still we go through this right now as black people. Like how does that make you guys feel, as far as, like, even though there's no change, but you guys began this, conversation of what needs to change in our world?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. But anytime you're going for it and you're trying to make a change or you try to make a difference, then naturally it's going to be resistance.
Right.
If you don't have no resistance, then you ain't really doing nothing. So in that case, with us being EPMD, Eric and I being dope, second behind Run DMC, we really believed in the music we was making. We really believed in the lyrical content, you know, and expressing what the people wanted, like Gots to give the people. At the time, we was just only the voice in the vehicle for those who didn't have a voice.
Right.
I speak for the hardcore. What's ready to grow? I'm out of here, catch me chilling on my next tour. One from the US to the White Cliffs to Dover. Strictly underground, fuck the crossover.
You mentioned Run DMC. Did it feel like you guys were the next baton carriers as far as the rap group? Like,
Yo, I think it was worse than that. Like, we got super blessed to be on the Run's House tour, to get managed by Rush Management, to, you know, get asked by Run DMC, Jam Master Jay, to go on the Run DMC tour, Run's House tour with Public Enemy, you know, Will Smith, Jazzy Jeff, and Stetsasonic. So back there, the funds was kind of light. We didn't have no money for a tour bus, and Run DMC let us ride on their tour bus for free. So we just like had a hands-on experience and a hands-on learning experience.
and even as far as just setting the trends, like Fishman hat, the jean suits, like y'all were the first, and you guys basically helped set that trend, even down to basically conversation. Like, we talk like y'all, you know what I mean? Like, you all are basically icons in this game. Like I said, even if it's a baton carry, you guys are still to this day. We dress like y'all still right now, you know what I mean? And, you know, we want the world to see, like, when we say legends, you guys are rap legends.
Yo, what's up? This is E. Beasley, Smack URL, URLTV.tv, man. Congratulations to EPMD, hip-hop legends within this culture. What EPMD means to me as a group, as a band, or just as lyricists within hip-hop history is so much, man. I remember hearing their first records as a kid and just being intrigued with their style and their flow and what they brought to the game. I always thought they had their own original style and flavor, which made them unique. You know, Eric Sermon as a producer is dope too. A lot of people don't understand the contributions that he's made to the culture, from R&B music all the way down to hip-hop music. You know, from Jodeci to, you know, Keith Murray and all the other artists that he's produced, Redman. He's produced so many classic hits with his production, and him and Parrish are like a dope team, man. And somebody that means a lot to the hip-hop culture and just to rap overall. So I want to shout them out and salute them when it's
For this game, you know. Now, as far as the breakdown as the album, were there any, what was the inspiration behind, like, specific songs? There's a lot of James Brown, I noticed, samples. Like, what was you guys' biggest inspiration as far as, like, just the music?
All these titles are kind of angry. Again, we was in a label that was bad. I mean, it was good in the way because we had #1 albums, but the label was, you know, they ate off of EPMD. So when we left there, it was anger. So I'm mad and manslaughter and rampage, as you could tell, it was anger. It was anger from being in something that we didn't get the fruits of our labor off of, and that's what came up. You know, the album came up like that because of anger from having a label, and then Russell Simmons bailing us out and buying us for $1.6 million at the time. You know.
Charlotte in the house, everybody in the house, one time, let me hear you say hola, hola, hola. Come on, Charlotte, say hola, hola, hola. Charlotte, hey yo, say hola, hola, hola. Yo, the players every year, you know, we back to work. I took time off, while other rappers got jerked. Due to the fact they whacking their track, have to go back in stacks cause they lack the ingredients.
And then you guys had, like, Rampage. That's one of the best collabos ever, still to this day.
Yeah, that's Pete.
Yeah, well, that was when we got the Def Jam, so it was part of the family. So LL Cool J, who actually was living in Long Island at the time, 15 minutes away from us, you know, Russell thought it was a good idea that EPMD and LL Cool J collaborated on a song, but we wanted to do something up-tempo. And really, to us, like, you know, we was always a fan of Cool J before we even got a contract with Bad and stuff like that. So we always did music from a standpoint of view of being a fan of hip hop and having the opportunity to do a song with an artist like LL Cool J.
And the Jane 3 stories, like Jane 3 or just the Jane stories, like how did that begin and what made y'all want to just continue that per album, as far as the Jane story?
Well, Jane was one of the first records I wrote when I was a kid, like 11, 12 years old. So when I met Parrish, it was a couple of rhymes that I said to him. I told him about Bernard Getz, and I had a Jane story. And then once the album came, we happened to use it. So it was one of the stories that my early raps, and we kept it. And then P was like, let's do a sequel. And then we just kept doing it. And then Redman was able to do Superman Lover, so that's why he did Superman Lover and did 1, 2, 3 because of EPMD.
And Mr. Bozak, that was literally, it was a dope
That's
track,
Parrish
but it was still
from school.
It's still about
I never even heard that
slang.
Yeah.
It was still like you're sending a message though. Make sure you take care and protect
Yeah,
ourselves.
no question. Have fun, but yeah, take care of yourself.
The word was used by, of course, Jay-Z. I mean, tons of people used that word, and we actually started that word, regardless what so and so. Without us, the BBDs, the Bozak would have never been heard if EPMD didn't say it. I know it. Somebody said a long time ago in the hood it was said though, but that's the hood. When it got popular, it was said from us.
Right.
Then the world took it.
Right.
Just like Swayze or all the other EPMD slangs all that stuff people don't know about. Again, you're right. The clothes, the fisherman hat, the slang that we use. We're the most sampled rap group in history. And nobody has sampled more music from a rap group than EPMD has been sampled from all the greats. If it's DMX, if it's Jay, if it's the Kanye, if it's Premier with Mass Appeal and Marion Wines and Puffy and it's tons of it when you hear about how much music was sampled. Rough Riders and it's a lot of music that was sampled by us because we was up before our time at one time, and we made music consistently. And again, we felt that at the time we set the format for everything that came out. And when we broke up, people ran rapid, and they was able to tape. Don't care who it is, West Coast, East, they all was able to say, these guys is gone, we got an opening. Because the Hit Squad was that powerful. We had all 4 groups on the Billboards charts at one time. Everybody was #1, people was gold and platinum. Nobody never seen that before. Not with one crew. Before the Bad Boys and Wu-Tangs and Flavor Units and the whole nine, there was one crew. There was the Hit Squad. That was it.
Speaking of sample Gold Diggers, it was such an amazing track, amazing beat. Did you guys though get slack for it from the women or?
Nah, because our approach, we were speaking reality and the truth of what it actually was. And we was growing at the same time where cats in the NFL and baseball, they started running in the dough. And then that's when the women started coming out, and then, at the time, a lot of sportsters was getting divorced and they was learning a lot of mistakes in hindsight. So us being a fan of, football, NFL, baseball, stuff like that, we just felt compelled to write a song, Gold Digger. And the real pitfalls, if you're not paying attention, what happens?
Yeah, like Paris said with the NFL, I forgot his name, but whatever NFL star, he was like, thank you. Because he didn't know. He never heard that term before. Like, we saved him from a groupie and a gold digger. He like, he was excited. Like, thank you for giving us that, because we didn't know, because they was coming into big money, and they couldn't differentiate the two. Which one is it? Is it a groupie or is it girl out getting my money? It's two different things. A fan and a groupie and a gold is two different people.
It's crazy.
Somebody who's focused to go get that money, to get you, to get pregnant, to get so and so. That's the gold digger.
Then on the flip side, give the people.
Yeah.
Like I said before,
Before our
was
time.
the first formation. That was like for us. Like, how did you guys? Like you said, there was a lot of anger with the tracks, but how did you feel as far as when you guys decided when you were making this track? what was your feelings towards the reason behind that?
Well, it was our third album. It was our first album on Def Jam. And we just felt, aside from the dope music that we was already making, we just wanted to make a song for the people. Just straight what they was feeling, their frustration, and express it through the music. So that's why we came with Got to Get the People. You know, because a lot of other artists were gated. You know, they had a different type of music in their heart, but when they actually produced it and put it out, it didn't sound like the way they, you know. So.
But it was also a thing to do though too. Like again, you know, KRS-One did it, with, you know, with the self-destruction and the fight the power. So it was stuff out there that we was able to hear, and we played our part with it. You know, it came Black and I'm Proud, whatever. So all this stuff was, you know, again, that's what people did back then. It ain't like now, people in trouble, nobody cares.
Right.
You know, nobody writing about it. You know, when something went on, you wrote about it.
Right.
You know, Marvin Gaye told Barry Gordy, I'm not wanting to be, is that peculiar? I don't want to do no doo-wop. What's going on? Put on the Scully, put on the jean suit, the world's in trouble. I got to write about that. You know, so that's what Stevie and them did. Whatever was going on, you wrote about it. And that's what we did. At the time, whatever was going on, we wrote about it. The artists don't do that no more. They don't care about that. So that's why we have a big ass gap of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's why I say every night, the kids are getting dumber because they closed down 400 schools and fired 4,000 teachers. So how you supposed to be smart? How you supposed to be able to grow up and then to have an education? And that's why they only let certain songs win.
Younger cats all the time. I show the footage. And I'm like, now these guys are not 21. And you can still hear every word of what they're saying without having the entire track playing, the song playing behind them.
Right.
What advice would you give to artists as far as professionalism? Like, that's one of my biggest things. I'm from Buffalo, New York. When I moved down here, it was totally different as far as...
They all right behind the track. I don't know where that came from.
You know, so...
Yeah.
My thing is, I do business. I'm not a rapper, whatever the case may be. So some people don't understand how, even if a person doesn't necessarily do what you do, they can still guide you in some type of way from a fan aspect.
Right.
What type of
fans don't care about them rhyme behind the beat. This era don't know about that. It's all they know. Every new artist, the majority of them rhyme behind their music, which is insane. That you allowed them to come and spend $60 out of your pocket to hear them rhyme over something you can play in your car. They did, all of them do it. Every big artist right now rhyme, even on the award shows.
And the ear's so used to hearing it, they think it's normal.
Think it's normal. Fans think it's normal.
Yeah.
Just like how you just said about how today's people won't do that. But that segues to the next track, Rappers Out of Control.
Yeah.
That's still today.
Yeah, we didn't know. I wish we kind of knew, because again, back then it was whack people. And stuff was being, you know, EPMD, we spoke out, you know, because that's our era. But we had no idea it was going to be like that, though, you know, when we made the song. But we was kind of clowning, you know, people who didn't have it, you know, and just saying whatever.
Yeah.
But rap is out of control. It got out of control.
Still.
Way out of control.
Yeah.
See, Brothers on My Job, when you hear, like you said, samples, Ghostface, like, is that still like an honor you feel when, you know, people just like say, we gotta sample this EPMD track?
I think that Me and Proud was just, again, before our time.
Yeah.
Even when I hear California Love and I hear the big, I mean, you know, what was it called?
Knick-Knack
Knick-Knack Paddywhack, and how Dre was able to freak it, you know. But, you know, again, our influence was heavy. You know, we was heavy, and it's dope that people listened, you know, because they was able to, you know, make dope stuff. Like how I don't know where we got stuff from. We got stuff from our peers, but they got stuff from us, you know.
Business as usual, man.
Yeah, come on with the guard.
25th anniversary, man. EPMD, man. Big up. Just got finished doing a joint. You know what I mean? Together, ripping the stage up together. wish them nothing but the best. You know what I mean? And when y'all do the album and y'all do the new joints, I'll let your boy, man. Love y'all. Peace and love. Peace.
You see the next shot. Yeah, the guard is
All
right.
right.
Baby. Big shout out to my brothers, EPMD, 25 years in the game. I came in watching them, fans of them. Those are my brothers forever, baby. Business as usual. Peace.
Already know, it's your boy Smack. We here representing EPMD 25th anniversary. Business as usual. You know the business don't stop, and we're gonna keep getting this money. Shout out to motherfucking Eric Sherman in Paris, you heard? Split.